Most people misunderstand what it means to not react emotionally. They assume it is about suppressing anger, hiding fear, or forcing calmness in situations that trigger discomfort. That assumption is wrong. Suppression is still reaction. It is simply reaction turned inward, where it continues to operate beneath your awareness. What you are really dealing with is not emotional expression, but emotional ownership. As long as your emotions belong to the event that triggered them, you are not in control of them. When someone says something disrespectful, your nervous system fires before your mind forms a thought. That delay is where most people lose power. In that gap, the external world inserts meaning into your internal state. You don't decide what something means, you absorb it. And once meaning is absorbed, reaction becomes automatic. To stop reacting emotionally, you are not trying to eliminate emotion. You are trying to break the connection between stimulus and identity. The emotional person believes every feeling deserves a response. The controlled individual understands that most feelings are biological noise shaped by interpretation, not truth. You are not trying to become empty. You are trying to become uninterruptible. Your emotional reactions are not personality traits. They are learned reflexes, reinforced over time. Every time you reacted instantly, defending yourself, explaining yourself, attacking back, withdrawing, you strengthened a neural pathway that now runs faster than your reasoning. That is why you do not decide to get angry. You arrive there already committed. The mind operates in layers. The first layer is perception. The second is interpretation. The third is identity-based meaning. Most people never reach the third layer consciously. They skip directly from perception to identity. Someone disrespects you, and it becomes, I am being humiliated. Someone ignores you, and it becomes, I am unimportant. This collapse is where emotional reaction is born. To stop reacting, you must interrupt the collapse. You do not challenge the event. You challenge the automatic meaning assigned to it. You create a delay between what happens and what it becomes inside you. Without that delay, you are not thinking. You are executing conditioning. Every person has predictable emotional pressure points. These are not random sensitivities. They are structured vulnerabilities built from past experiences, repeated validation patterns, and unresolved status hierarchies in the mind. When someone finds your trigger, they are not discovering your weakness. They are locating your access point. Most social conflict is not about truth. It is about triggering. People push emotional buttons because reaction confirms control. The moment you react, you confirm that they are inside your internal system. They have successfully influenced your state without permission. The mistake most people make is believing they must defend every trigger. In reality, defense strengthens the trigger. Attention reinforces it. Emotion feeds it. The more you react, the more precise it becomes. You are training others and yourself where to strike. To stop this cycle, you do not remove the trigger. You remove its authority. A trigger only functions when it produces meaning. Without meaning, it becomes noise. Control begins where reaction ends. Between stimulus and response, there is a space most people ignore. In that space, your mind has the capacity to override instinct, but only if it is trained to stay there long enough to observe rather than execute. A delayed response is not silence. It is evaluation. It is the refusal to allow the first emotional wave to define your next action. Most people cannot tolerate that pause because it feels unnatural. Their identity is built on immediacy, saying what they feel, reacting as they think, expressing as they experience. But emotional control is not expressive. It is procedural. You observe the emotional surge as if it belongs to someone else. Not to reject it, not to suppress it, but to prevent it from becoming behavior. In that delay, something subtle happens. The emotional charge begins to lose structural dominance. What felt urgent becomes negotiable. What felt personal becomes mechanical. That is the beginning of psychological distance. There is a difference between emotional detachment and emotional absence. Absence is collapse. Detachment is precision. One is loss of feeling, the other is separation from automatic ownership of feeling. When you become emotionally reactive, you merge with the emotion. Anger is not something you experience. It becomes something you are. Detachment breaks that merger. You still feel the spike, but you do not convert it into identity. This is where most people fail. They believe control means eliminating emotional intensity, so they attempt to flatten their internal world. But emotional intensity is not the problem, identification is. A controlled mind does not resist emotion. It classifies it. It recognizes anger as data about perceived boundary violation. It recognizes anxiety as prediction error. It recognizes sadness as attachment disruption. None of these require action. They require interpretation. Once emotion becomes information instead of instruction, it loses its power to dictate behavior. Ego is not confidence. Ego is the internal structure that defines what must not be challenged. Every emotional reaction is ultimately a defense of ego boundaries. When someone disrespects you, ignores you, or contradicts you, it is not the event itself that triggers reaction. It is the perceived threat to internal hierarchy. The ego demands immediate correction. It wants balance restored in real time. That urgency is what creates emotional volatility. A stable mind does not require instant restoration of status. It tolerates imbalance without collapsing into reaction. This is why emotionally reactive people are predictable. They reveal their hierarchy through their reactions. The more something bothers you, the more visible it becomes as leverage to others. Emotional reaction is not just internal instability, it is external information leakage. When you stop reacting, you are not becoming passive, you are becoming unreadable. And unreadability is a form of control. You do not eliminate emotional response by force. You restructure interpretation. Every emotional reaction begins with a silent sentence in your mind. This means I am disrespected. This means I am losing. This means I am not valued. These meanings are not objective. They are learned frameworks, and they operate so quickly that they appear identical to reality itself. But they are not reality. They are translations. To train your mind away from emotional reactivity, you must learn to intercept translation. You must pause at the moment meaning is formed and ask nothing emotionally responsive. Not, why is this happening to me, but simply, what else could this be? That question is not emotional. It is structural. It breaks certainty. And without certainty, emotion loses direction. A mind that cannot assign immediate meaning cannot be manipulated through emotional escalation. At a certain point in this process, something changes in how you experience conflict, insult, and pressure. Not because the world becomes softer, but because your internal system stops translating events into emotional identity. You still register what happens. You still understand intent. You still see conflict, manipulation, and disrespect, but none of it enters you as instruction. It remains external. This is not peace, it is separation, a controlled distance between perception and identity. The ability to observe emotional movement without becoming it. Most people will never reach this state because they cannot tolerate the absence of immediate reaction. They confuse reaction with strength. They confuse emotional intensity with truth. But once you stop reacting emotionally, something irreversible happens. People begin to lose access to your internal state. Not because you have hidden it, but because there is nothing immediate to access anymore. And in that silence between stimulus and response, control quietly shifts away from the world and back into you.